Kingdom, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. It's morning for me. Coffee in hand as usual. I'm so happy to see you. It's been a while. I was trying that new setup. I'll go back and forth between these two, but today I felt like being here and seeing you. So hello, I'm happy to see you. Let me get a sip and then we're going to start and we're just going to pull some cards. I'm sending you the biggest hug. I'm going to see if I can, maybe not. There we go. Sending you the biggest hug, just like a comforting hug, you know. Anyway, Yehovah, are you ready to take the stage? We're just gonna pull out whatever comes out. And let's see here. We're gonna do secret card, he says. I love it. This one right here. All right, there it is. All right, Yehovah, what's going on? What's going on with our kingdom? Someone's afraid of a new start. 111 right there. Look at that. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. Look at this, though. There's a whole new start here. It just hasn't happened yet. 1, 2, 3 when I looked as well. You see how things were like trying to come out and be out in the open, but then I was too distracted by that notification. I was too distracted by trying to get it to focus in on what was going on here. And this is this distraction. This is everything that you're trying to validate yourself of the world, trying to not take it internal and trying to find any damn excuse to not even move on any further. You're too afraid to move on. But look at, that's a whole brand new start. That's a Fool in itself at the very, very, very beginning. So you have the Fool in between here, and it's actually just starting over with the Wands, a brand new testament to something that it's just time to end and time to move on. This is the polarizing energy because you're afraid of it. However, you're not going to have a choice. So do you want to 11? Do you want to start this new movement forward with fear? Or do you want to start this new movement forward with hope, love, faith, everything that we're supposed to have? 2, 2, 2, balance, grace, and mercy, and compassion, wisdom, knowledge, power. Everything that God has to offer. Is it how you want to start it? Or do you want to start it with the power of fear and everything that Satan himself has to offer? I mean, I think this is a better deal here. What's going on though with this, Lord? What's this ending about? What's this ending about? Inevitable ending. I just heard 2, 4, 5 there. 2, 4, 5, 9, and then 2, 2 and 9, 2 and 4.5, 4.5. 4.5 would be 4 wands plus that within that 5. Something that's ending, the overall thing that has control of you, but you don't have control of it, no matter what you do there. Look at that Page of Swords. Yeah, this is this acceptance of I have to move on. I have to move forward. I can't hold myself back here any further because that's that fixed mindset that's just now in physical position. 3, 2, 1 there, that dissension. 3 and 3 with one more split to that down to its root with the power of 3. So when you're able to accept this part of your life, 3, 3, 3 right here, this chapter is going to be new, even though it's scary. When we're not adaptable to change, we're not allowing ourselves to bring in the other side of the paradigm, things that are amazing, things that you never thought that you would be deserving of. 3, 4, 5. See how he's just bringing so much ascension in, and then a little bit dissension, but so much more ascension, and then balancing angel numbers there to really fulfill it, to really stuff the loaf and make sure it's extra full for you. But are you willing to accept everything that's in the loaf for you itself? Or are you just willing to accept the end of the crust, which you're worth more than that? So here's this truth, this inner spirit, this inner children, this inner voice telling you, look at it has to end regardless, no matter how scared you are. But look at, once we're able to go through the fire with the power of grace and everything that Lord wants to give us, our backbone here is going to be shielded. It's going to be protected within that truth. You would have already learned the lesson here. You would have already successfully survived what was the worst part of that. And now it's just gaining the momentum of this potential that fueled you. It doesn't always fuel us in the positive, 4, 4, 4, but it brings that balance. It brings the little bit of dissension to the ascension to remind you, yeah, that's where I came from. And I love who I am now. This is what held me back for so long, and I'm never going to put myself in that position again. This is when I didn't trust myself. This is when I had a fixed mindset. This is when I was too afraid to make a move. And this is what I have to offer. A whole Ace of Wands, plus that's an Ace of Swords, because the Ace of Swords would have to be there. Plus it's the Ace of Cups, because 2 by 2. But then 2 by 3, it's also Ace of Fours, Ace of Pentacles. We've already been talking about that 4, the 4.5 to the 5. So we're bringing in that Emperor energy. We're bringing in that Hierophant energy. We're bringing in the overall control to this situation that you just do not have control over any further. And as we try to hang on to that, as we try to control what we can't control, we just gain anxiety. We just gain that fear. We just gain the will to not do anything. That won't power. When the willpower is what's going to get you through. Let's see, what else is here? What else is here? Wow. Okay, so these are neutral energies here. Very funny, because we're about to hit 555 right now, and we're seeing 5 here. We've been talking about that 5. We've been talking about that 4. That 4 of Wands would be here when we talked about that. We've already seen it. It's already there. Well, if that Hierophant's there, then that major arcana, we've already been talking about the Fool. We've been talking about the Emperor, which is really the one and the same, 6 to 11 there. And now we have the 5, the Hierophant. So this choice that you're not willing to make right now, that's just going to move you in that direction anyway because you're not in control, will flow so much easier for you when you decide to stop destalling yourself, because you're doing this to yourself here, sweetheart. Now, when you're able to accept what's coming with this grace, with, you know what, I trust God and I trust God's will, and he will never leave me. He will never abandon me. He will never show me the wrong path as long as I choose to be upright, which you clearly are, because that's the first card that came out. He says, I'm protecting you, child. That's why I would like to shield you with the truth and the true power of love, which will always outrule anything else. Anything else. Okay? Let me get a sip of my balance here. So we have this 5 of Fours. Now, we've already seen the Ace of Fours. We just talked about it, the Ace of Pentacles. Now, there's 4 in between there. There's 4 in between that 4 of Wands. So do you see how I've already divided it so much that we already see where those 4s are going to end up at? The Pentacles, and we called it out. The Wands, and we called it out right there. So that's 2 by 2 with 2 different frequencies. So that tells me that your masculine and your feminine all ego over this whole entire situation, because there's many layers to each situation that you continue to find yourself stuck in. But the end is finally here, which is just this new beginning, which will only benefit you if you choose it, right? Now, as this part of your ego sheds away, it's going to be able to grow back anew, is it not? Once it's done being stagnated, because it can no longer feel the potential energy because it's not resonating with it, which is why these are neutral. You know, there's already the clarity fairy coming around here, and you already know that you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to surrender. You're going to have to just do whatever has to happen within his will, but you're going to learn from it. It's going to make you stronger at 8-11. You're going to be able to move forward, and he's going to give you the benefit. He's going to give you the increase. All of this stress that you have right now over some certain situation that's just very hard for you to deal with every single day, he's going to be there for you, and you're going to be able to see the benefit, because what goes around comes around. Okay, over and over and over, to fulfill your cup. I just heard, oh my gosh, and he's in my nose. Ooh, to fulfill your cup. Beautiful. Now here's this 5 of Fours, which really is 20. So we have this judgment over all. And that's where this comes in. This is the fear of being judged, the fear of being rejected, the fear of being neglected, the fear of being abandoned. I feel all of those very much presently here. And I mean, I'm shaking. This energy is really flowing through me, y'all. And what's difficult is that it's kind of like you're going into this, it could be something with court. It's like a legal assembly feeling. And I could just be going up to God and saying, this is what I need to forgive myself on 9/11. See, Yeshua's right there. Thank you, Lord. Taking that internal energy. So now we've seen 4. Now we've seen 5. We saw 20 with that judgment. And now we're seeing the 9, which is very funny because 4 and 5 is 9. 9 and 9 is 18 there. So the moon, the empress. So there's this empress energy to backdoor that emperor that we've already seen, all within that big 5. That 5 is just repeated 4 more times. Wands, Swords, Cups, and Pentacles. And it all belongs to you, sweetheart. So this is what's going on, is when you're, you know, God, I don't want to. How can I get around this? I don't want to do this. I'm too afraid, yada, yada, yada. Error, error, error. What happens when you're like, okay, Lord, I surrender. I surrender. Well, all of this fear is going to be cleared out because it can no longer resonate in your vessel anymore. It's not how you're choosing to operate. And when you operate out of the truth, any depolarizing energy is going to get kicked out and casted out and evaporated. 1010 there. The wheel is going to continue moving, which is right here as well. That's 4 wheels, okay? 4 wheels is also the moon in each quarter here. So each minor arcana, isn't that beautiful? So here's this 5 now. You've gained your control back. Your emperor said, yes, I'm the alpha. I'm not the victim any further. I'm going to do what's best for me, and I'm just going to suck it up and take this consequence. Because it's really just the last thing that you have to button up here before a whole new world starts for you. And now this potential energy of that 4, which is really just internally fueled by that Empress energy, because if the 4 is there, the 3 had to come first. Now here's this 5, and we've been talking about this 5 and this Hierophant energy, this morals, these ethics, these light codes inside of us and our truth. So you are not able to process through your 5 and gain your New Testament unless you decide to accept yourself in the truth that's here, which we've already confirmed. So thank you, Father. Now you're already in the neutralizing position. 1111 just passed there, because some of this momentum, some of this potential is already starting to come with that clarity fairy. 1122, you're already like, okay, I just need to surrender. I just need to move through this. I'm going to feel so much better when this situation is done. And I'm going to be able to look past it. I've survived 100% of my worst days. So I know that I'm going to be able to do the same thing with my best days coming up, because Jehovah himself is not going to allow anything to happen to me. He's going to protect me, which is why all this Pentacles is so precious. So now we have a few cards here that are also neutralizing. So let's see what's here. We still have that World and the Ace of Wands, bringing up that 4 of Wands within that 5 of Pentacles there. And then we have that Page of Swords. Let's see here. Queen of Pentacles. You are joking me, Father. 1211. Look at that. There's that Empress. In 1213 there, this death to rebirth. This Empress is the one that's dying first in order to move on. This emotional instability, the fear, the 1221. 1221 here, Hanged Man to the World. When you are finally able to sit there and say, you know what, I need to gain control back. I don't want to be in the situation any further. 1, 2, 3, 4, all this, and the new ascension is coming in as soon as we took the next layer off. And what's going to happen is that this Queen of Pentacles, right on the backside, just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not there, is the King of Pentacles, which is just pre-Emperor energy. This is what God has been working on for you. This is why it's so difficult to accept. This is why it's not normal for you, because you've never experienced that gain in your spirit. So here we have it, all of this potential energy that's meant for you. But there's just this one last chapter of the world, your Old Testament world, that's following you, that's haunting you, that's just weighing so heavy, that's just left you out abandoned in the cold, and you don't know what to do because you were not in control. You were just 1313 there. You were meant to go through this to gain life purpose, instructions, knowledge, power, in order to teach others about it. There's very much like an advocacy vote here. And whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through here, you're going to be able to mentor people. 1331 there, very funny, Lord, death, and then that 1111 coming back in. Yes, Father, I see that. This is also going to be 4 and 4, though. When we see 13 and 31, that's exactly what's going to happen. We have the 4, but then we have the 4 this way. And the Pentacles are right here, the masculine and the feminine, within these portals to constantly shift 11, 11, 11, 11. So as this Empress comes in, she's the one that's fueling this pre-Emperor energy. And this is this present moment that we're stuck in. Because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And if we can't see it, it's because we're probably stuck in it. And so when you're stuck in this decision, the further that you hold yourself out in the cold, honey, the only more time that you are wasting from your own balance, your own manifestation. Whatever this Queen of Pentacles energy is going to bring, besides that King of Pentacles, which is the next full step, that 1 and 5 is full now to fulfill your cup. See what he's doing there, y'all? To fulfill your cup. And once that new transition can happen, once that Emperor and Empress energy come in by way of everything that you're allowing to, because you're acting out of acceptance and forgiveness and moving on, 1441, that 5 and that 5. See what's going to happen. You're going to grow within. And then all of a sudden, the 9s are going to come in, and all of this hermit energy, this internalizing is going to be there. It's going to be able to show you the inside and the outside and why things had to happen and why things had to slow down in order to only speed up again later and gain momentum. However, it's always been yours. It's always there to help you. It's always there to benefit you. You just have to allow your mindset to see it that way. Everything that we go through, whether it's spiritual redirection or trauma ejection in 3D to 5D, we're going to be able to gain potential from whatever knowledge it's giving us. Let's see what's behind here. 7 of Cups in the neutral. Look at this. You have to be emotionally stable with the consequences you've had here, honey. And this fear is what's overall holding this down. But once this fear can go away and you settle and say, okay, I'm willing to take whatever it is. When I go into this legal assembly with God here and ask him to forgive my sins, or I have to go into court, or there's just something here that's very just a major life change here. And also could be like a career change, a move, a housing issue. It could be just a divorce as well. I mean, there's just a bunch of different things here that this fear can be stemming from. But what I see here, 2 by 2, we have that 4, right? We have that 3, we have that 5. So now we're going to go 3 to 2 is going to be that 6. That 5 on the inside, so that 6 is going to be there, that Lover's position. Well, then if we also have that 5, 2 by 2, it's going to bring in that 7. So we have that Lover's position of the inner children doing what's best for us and making that amazing decision between our Old Testament and our New Testament. And then here comes the 7 of 3s, the Empress's energy within the chariot, within the house of communication, the body of Christ, and being able to settle our own emotions about what we've done and what we can gain from it, what the knowledge that it is to be able to move forward and never put ourselves in that position again, which is only confirmed by the Judgment card. Judging ourselves is very difficult, but as soon as we decide to do it, we're clearing out that whole storage unit of judgment that you were afraid to face. And then when that storage unit is cleared out, there's so much more room for all this new stuff. And what is this new stuff going to be? I mean, this is inner worth and external worth. This is inheritance from God, spiritually and physically. Everything that you could ever want, it's here. And he's saying here, look at, we just have to talk about things. We have to settle your emotions because I renew your heart first. I look at your heart first before we can mentally think about it together. I have to be able to accept what I need to accept. I have to be able to forgive myself for the consequences that I've given myself emotionally. I have to take personal accountability for it. I have to walk that path of forgiveness in order to move forward in the truth. Let's see the bottom of the deck here. 2 of Cups. I love this so much. Look at, we have 9 of Cups there. So right now, we started off with 2 cups, that masculine energy and that feminine energy. This is your atria and your ventricle and your big 5. I love it so much. Now, there's the 7 of Cups that's just hanging around you. It's just really heavy. It's just hanging there, casting shadows, not being able to help you see clearly until Jehovah rips the veil off the illusion there. 25:7 in the book of Isaiah, but 25:8, he also states that he's going to wipe the tears off of all faces. He's here to help you renew yourself and say, you know what? You did do that. You did do that. But once we can work through it, this is going to become the 9 of Cups, and you're going to be able to fulfill your own cup, bringing in that Queen of Cups and that King of Cups, which on another paradigm is just right on the back side of this card here. Let's see what else is here. 2 of Cups. The Emperor. Oh my gosh, Lord. I am such a giddy kid for God. Oh my God. See, thank you, Father, for having my back. This Emperor energy is coming in hot, and you're going to be able to gain the control back. You're going to be able to let go of this heavy weight that you just can't suffer through anymore. And then all this benefit that's going to come in, the good richness inside that he offers, faith, love, wisdom, knowledge, power, perception, understanding, compassion, is going to be so good that it's going to overflow into the 3D, and I'm almost shaking. So all of this external worth, this value, communication with someone, being able to have a secure attachment style, growth mindset, along with all the 3D potential, all the worth, inheritance, and God's money that he wants to give his child. If God gives you his money right now and his inheritance to have you have a happy, successful life, it's only going to go to this worldly chapter that still needs to end. And he says, no, This inheritance is not meant for this worldly chapter. It's meant for my child, and my child will enjoy it. And this is what you're stopping yourself from, is the external move, because the internal cannot move on with the decision. You got to face it either way. Let's do one more, he says, then we're going to get the secret card. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm itchy on my shoulder. Oh my gosh, Lord, I'm shaking with you. Thank you so much, Father. I can feel your presence. Oh my goodness. This damn Emperor card. That's so funny. All right. It's been a while, y'all. Okay, one more here. Eight of Swords. See, now I love this so much because we saw the 7 and we saw the 9, right? That hermit energy within that chariot, within that hierophant, on that masculine spectrum. But then if we go on the inside, we're going to see that feminine spectrum with the 3 and the 6 and the 9. But we have to be able to blend those together. And what's going to weave it in, weave it out, internal, external, 2030 I just saw, is the 8. The internal strength, the external strength, the snake itself back in Psalm 119 by way of Gematria. And it is just the way that these energies can depolarize and polarize together as they're bounded, as they're beginning to only resolve in the flesh itself, the Old Testament. This is withering away. And as soon as it can be de-shedded, as soon as it can be let go of, because it's no longer yours, sweetheart, that Emperor will come in. But that 8 of 2s is the mental clarity fairy that needs to come in first, that mental strength. You don't have it quite yet, but you will. You're getting there. Remember, we saw the neutrality in all 3 of these cards here. So once you're able to emotionally stable yourself with all of the potential and saying, yeah, you know, this is really scary, but I know I'm never going to put myself in this situation again. I don't want to see the judgment, which is just right on the backside of this card also as well. I'm just now realizing. Crazy, Lord. Thank you for having me divide it so many times to see it, even though it was just right there. That's for someone too. 2131. This is everything that you have to gain. So when this opens up and polarizes, absolutely, it's going to fuel your heart to fuel your mind. And then that means that this is going to be able to start neutralizing itself as the heart powers this, because we've already seen the heart. It's right here. And then it's going to go up. So Lord, this card behind here is going to tell us what to gain once we can gain our mental clarity. That's what he says. So let's see what it is. 5 of Cups, why our heart was broken. But look at that heart, it's depolarizing. It's not even going to be there anymore. It's not going to resonate. You're going to see, okay, my heart's no longer broken. So what's next? This is also 5 of 3s, and we saw 7 of 3s. So that 6 of Cups is in between there. 2211. We already saw 1122. So now we're seeing the inside, the back, the 6 of Cups, the returning and reconciling, the Queen to the King, the Empress to the Emperor. 2222. Shut up, Lord. The big 4s. One more time. One more time it came through. 10 of Swords, the overall ending to that mindset. You're going to decide, you know what, 9 of Swords is up to me. I can continue to suffer, or I can continue to end this mindset and move forward within my own. Beautiful. One more, he says. And the Fool, shut up. Oh my God, Lord, you're so good. Look at this. This is exactly how it would go. Are we ready to see the secret card? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are we ready to see the secret card? King of Wands. Exactly. This is that very first step, our very first king that we have to be able to embrace in our New Testament. Our temperament is there, that Ace of Wands, the fear is being over-controlled right now. But once that Emperor can come in, he's right there. He's right there. That Queen of Pentacles is going to have that King of Pentacles right there on the back side. So look at what we're missing here. This Page of Swords is there, that's present. What we're missing here is that King of Cups and that King of Swords. So we are definitely in that hermit energy to move in here. And, you know, this is just this masculine energy. But if the masculine energy is what's being worked on, it's because that Empress is fueling it. We've already seen it. We've already seen it. And that Queen is just on the backside of here. So just because you can't see her doesn't mean she's not there. The husband of the house can be outside mowing the lawn. The wife is inside cooking and cleaning and making everything happy. If the wife is dysfunctional on the inside of the house, how do you think that husband's going to feel on the outside of the house? We saw that 1122. Now let's reverse this to that 2211. If that husband is on the outside of the house and he's dysfunctional, how do you think that wife feels on the inside of the house? See? So how can you bring the balance in of your whole entire potential, your whole entire 5, your spirit, your heart, your mind, and your body all working together because of that balance within your fire, your air, your water, and your earth, everything that you are. and your 5 loaves, and your 2 fish. I love you. It was so good to see you. I'll see you soon, Wounds into Light.